But I want you all to have a small prayer. Please sit erect and close your eyes. Just take a deep breath. Chant Om 3 times. Thank you. Hope my you can all view my screen, right? Any doubts, any questions? Participants can anytime can ask in the class. So I will continue the session. So we are studying about diet. So diet and nutrition. So in yoga, the health is very, very important. For a yogi or yogini uh, to progress himself in the spiritual path, he must have a good health. According to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, one of the obstacle for a yogi in his spiritual path, it is Vyadi. So Patanjali mentions the Vyadi as a first obstacle in his uh, sutras.
Sorry for disturbance,
So we are aware that,
ma'am.
yeah,
Sorry for disturbance. Some other fan is running, ma'am. It's a little bit
yes,
sound.
okay, I'll, one second. Is that okay, sir, now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So, according to Sage Patanjali, the Vyadi is the first obstacle for a yogi, which stops him in the progress in his progress in his spiritual path. So that we need to have a good health first. Okay, then only we are eligible for the spiritual path. So, as part of having good health, we need to have a knowledge on diet also, because diet plays an important role. What we are, what we eat, right? So it is very, very important. So we are studying about the diet and nutrition. So the aim of all the ancient yogic text is protection of health of healthy person and to cure the disease of deceased. So there was an equal emphasis on promotion of health and prevention of disease. Both they consider. So on all the dimensions, yoga helps us to maintain a good health in all the dimensions, from physical, then mental, social, and spiritual. So the total well-being will be achieved when we follow yoga. And also the yogic diet is very, very important, which has been mentioned in all our ancient texts. Importantly, Bhagavad Gita and Hatha Yoga Pratipika, all the Hatha Yoga text suggests food for a yogi. And the benefits you can see here, how we can say one person is fit in physical. These are the qualities, right? Then that flexibility, strength. Then mental means mental health means concentration, calmness, consciousness, such as these things will be the qualities of mental health. Accordingly, social and spiritual also. So these are all can be achieved through a good diet and good practice, that abhyasa and vairagya. So this both are essential for a yogi. So balance in everything, that is yoga, right? Samatvam yoga uchare. So this balance, how we can bring in our life. Mainly the mental health is very important, but also the healthy food. The healthy food, then self discipline and positive attitude, then selfless service. If these are all together combined, we can attain the true happiness in our life. Okay, if we miss anything in this, then this achievement of the happiness is very difficult. So this is very important. So, according to yogic text, first we have discussed this. So, slightly I'll go through all the things what we discussed in last class. So, according to Bhagavad Gita, it suggests your yogi to take sadhvik food, sadhvik ahara. Why? Because the natural food, the healthy foods are here, it is listed: grains, vegetables, fruits. The natural food will have the prana, right? That pranic energy we can receive from food. More pranic energy it is having. Also, it is healthy and easily digestible. So that they also described like juicy, fresh, and wholesome foods. Okay, so it leads us to health and happiness and satisfaction. Also gives strength. So now here they don't mention non-veg food. Okay, so these are the sadhvik food. So when it gets more processed, right, with oil, sugar, salt, adding these things, and when we process again and again, fermented, fried, like that, then it will get spoiled. That prana will be spoiled, reduced, so that that food, the same food, will become unhealthy. Okay, and Bhagavad Gita explains more about three gunas of us. So gunas are basement for our accents, everything. Okay, so according to one's guna, they will behave like sattva, rajas, or tamas. Actually, all the three gunas, everyone having, right? But the composition, that proportion of these three gunas will be varying in everyone. Someone may have 30% sattva guna and 30% rajas guna and 40% tamas guna. So like that, the percentage will be varying everyone, for everyone. So the example for these three gunas, we can take from ancient text, like Ravana. We all know Ravana and Kumbhakarna, Ramar. Here I have given. So tamasic food, if we eat tamasic food, then it leads to inertia, like that laziness. Our life will become darkness, like Kumbhakarna. He will always be sleeping, right? And very fat. Like that, we will also become. Simply, we can say by seeing the picture. And Ravana, what he did, he is very, very rajasic person, more energetic, and also not good. And Ramar is very, very polite, calm, and sadhvic nature, right? So the what mostly made them to behave like this means their food. So according to one's tamasic food, they will become like this. We saw all these things, right? Okay. Next one. A balanced diet is very, very essential for us. So what it includes? A balanced diet should include fruit and vegetables and cereals, like carbohydrate foods also we need for energy. Then milk and dairy foods for protein, fatty and sugary food, meat, fish and alternatives. Other non-veg taking persons will take, but we won't take usually. So these are all very, very important in our food on daily basis. So that our body will get the vitamin, minerals, fiber, and water, everything from the food. Okay. So we go through the nutrition next. So what is mean by nutrition? It is the science of food. It is the study of nutrients and the effect they have on our body, right? So nutrition means it is study about the food what we eat. It includes all the processes of the human body, like from eating itself. Then when it converts into energy, all the process it includes, like ingestion, digestion, absorption, transportation, and utilization of nutrients. All the processes it includes. So the end product, the entire function which is termed as digestion. Okay. So nutrition includes everything that happens to food, what we eat. That's it. Then diet. What is diet? There is a study called dietetics. It is a science as well as and part of the dietary intake of their individuals. Okay. So it differs from country to country. Why? Because their economic and health conditions, the environments. So according to that, the diet will be different from place to place. So now we are going to see about nutrients. So what kind of what is nutrients we study, right? So nutrients is the food what we eat. We receive the energy from the food. So in between it converts into nutrients. Then the nutrients will be absorbed by our body. It transported through blood to each and every cells in the body. All the parts of the body will absorb the nutrients from the blood, and it utilizes and it convert this into energy, right? So there are two kinds of nutrients: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are needed in large quantities. Okay, our body needs these kind of macronutrients in large quantities. Micronutrients are required in lesser amounts, in milligrams, like micrograms and milligrams is enough. But macronutrients we need in large quantities. Okay. So here there are further four classification under macronutrients, which is lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, and water. Okay, micronutrients are divided into two parts, like vitamins and minerals, organic, inorganic components. Okay, so carbohydrate, we had discussed this also last week, I think. So carbohydrate means it is the major part, like carbohydrates provide around half of our daily energy needs. For doing any activity, we need energy, right? So that energy can be uh, taken from the food, and in that food also the carbohydrate food what we take, it gives the half of our daily energy need. It satisfies. But when we do normally, it is for normal person. But when a person do strenuous exercise every day, that very hard works, when we more physical works, then it should be it will increase to 60 to 70%. From 50 to 60 to 70% it will be increased. So that much carbohydrate is very very essential for our body. So energy from carbohydrates is converted to a substance called glycogen. This glycogen is stored in the liver and the muscles in our body. Okay, whenever there is a need from the body, lack of energy, that time this glycogen will be converted into glucose and it is used by the muscles. Okay, so when it will be as needed, when we follow some fasting, right? Fasting for 1 week or 2 weeks, if we follow, then we will not eat properly. That time the body will automatically take the glycogen which is already stored, excess carbohydrates already stored in our body in liver and muscles. That glycogen will be um, broken into glucose and it is used by the body to maintain the body functions. Okay, so this process is called metabolism. Like some enzymes, hormones, everything is segregated in our body from pancreas to do these processes. So this is how the carbohydrate is stored in our body and utilized for future purposes. Okay, so if we eat more carbohydrate, then it will be stored as fat. So it is important to know this, because when we take more carbohydrate like white color foods, all will be converted. The excess carbohydrates will be converted into fats. So the if for to maintain a healthy body, we should be aware of these carbohydrate amounts, how to take for our body. Next, fats. So fats are also used for energy, but only when the stored carbohydrate run low. When the body used all the carbohydrates, then only it takes that fats. Okay, that's why the fatty people need more workout. When they do the workout strenuously, then only that fats will be um, dissolved. Like fat contains more than twice as much energy as carbohydrates, because it contains more energy. And so lots of oxygen is required to release this energy. When the energy is created in our body and how, we already discussed it. Actually, there is a element called mitochondria in our each and every cells in our body. So that mitochondria plays a major role, which maintains the energy, right? The from the food it takes the nutrients, and from the respiration of the lungs it will take the oxygen, and it will combine those together and it will create energy. It is happening each and every second in all our cells. So it is producing the energy and storing it in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Okay, it is called as ATP. In the form of ATP, it is storing the energy. From where the molecules, that components it is taking means, it is taking from our food, The food is converted into nutrients. That nutrients are transported through our blood circulation to all the parts of the body. Then that nutrients and using the nutrients and the oxygen from the blood through respiration, we get oxygen, and it is that gas exchange is happening in the alveoli and blood capillaries in the lungs. Then this oxygenated blood will be circulating all over the body, so that the blood is having the oxygen and also the nutrients. What it is doing means it is going to each and every part of the body and the cells, tissues. It is giving the nutrients and oxygen. What the cells will do, the cells are taking these two things, and the mitochondria element in the cell is combining these two things, and it is producing the energy. So this way our body is producing the energy. That energy is used for us to maintain our body functions, and also for the other works, activities. For even to make a speech, to tell a word, we need energy. So this is happening in our body every second. Like in industry, it is laboratory. Our body is a laboratory. It's doing everything. So, but we are not aware of it. So, in that what nutrients part, now we are studying that nutrients majorly two kinds. One is macronutrients, which we need in major amount, large amount. So we depends on it much in on our daily basis, like carbohydrate, fat, and protein. Every day we must take it for energy purpose. These are very, very essential. So the carbohydrate is the first one which is used by our body. Then when the carbohydrate is low, everything is used by the body, then the fat content will be used. So the fat energy can only be released slowly from fats. Okay. So there are two kinds of fat, saturated and unsaturated fat. Saturated fat means it is from milk, butter, cheese, and meat. This saturated fats can be converted into cholesterol by the liver. Okay, so that the high blood cholesterol is linked to heart disease. So we should take very little amount of percentage. 50% of our energy should be taken from carbohydrate. The same way, only 10% can be taken from fat. And fat supply the energy we need to endurance activities. So fat is not much needed for normal people who do the very vigorous practices, strenuous exercises. They need very much. Next, protein. Also, one more thing I would like to say here, the fats are like, cement. When we build a building, whatever things we use, bricks and cement, right? The bricks are very major part. That is actually that is called as proteins in our body. So proteins are like building blocks. Without proteins, our body cannot build this every from small child to now how we are now around 40 to 80 kgs also. So this much growth, how it happen means it is using protein. So the protein is very, very important to build our body and maintain our body. If there is any repair in our body cells, again we need the protein only to repair it and to make it healthy. So proteins are called as building blocks, and carbohydrate is for energy purpose, and these fats are like cement, like binding material. Each and every cell is connecting to each other in our body. Mainly if you see, some of the parts are made fully with the fat, like brain and all, it has more fat, created by fat. So the same way our skin also having fat. Without fat, if it is reduced, means we will get skin disease, dry skin. This is one example. The same way our internal parts also need fats to bind it and to maintain a good healthy body. So this is the purpose of fat, how it is used by the body. Then proteins. This is building blocks. So once the body is built up using the proteins, then it will be stored as amino acids in the be used by the body. So finally, so how the proteins are stored? It is stored as amino acids. Also, we can say from amino acids the proteins are manufactured. So the body cannot make all of the different types of amino acids. It needs from the food also what we consume. So from the food also it takes the amino acids. So the protein what we eat is broken down into amino acids and used by the body. So build cells, make blood and repair and replace tissues. Okay. So proteins are important in nearly every function of an organism. So it is important for human body. There are two kinds of proteins in our body. One is fibrous or structural. Another one is globular or functional proteins. The structured proteins are maintained in stable structures. It is used for maintaining the body parts, internal body parts such as cartilage, tendons, bones, hair, nails, skin. So everything it is maintained by built and created, manufactured by the proteins, structured proteins. And one more thing, functional proteins are used for chemical processes. For example, our body is having 11 systems, right? One of the system is endocrinal system. So hormones are secreted in our body. How the hormones are secreted and what from using which component it is secreted means it is full of proteins. So proteins are the that ingredients which hormones are having. That is for used for growth and development. So hormonal system is very important. Um, if one person suffers from proteins means then they will get even hormonal changes and antibodies for immunity system, then enzymes. For all chemical reactions we need enzymes, everything. Um, Even for metabolic, every metabolic functions are happening in our body, right? catabolic and anabolic system in each and every cell. So for that and all, some particular enzymes are essential. So for that processes also, proteins are very essential. Then vitamins. So major macronutrients we studied now. Water we will see. One more part is micronutrients. It is classified into vitamins and minerals. So vitamins. Why we need vitamins? Vitamins we need to help it work normally. The body should work normally, right? So supporting it is like supporting nutrients. It is not main nutrients. Main nutrients are essential in larger amount. It is we just now see carbohydrate, protein, and fat. But vitamins and minerals are we need it a very lesser amount to support their work. How it supports? There are many functions like releasing energy from food and repair and grow the growth of tissues, resisting infection and disease, regulating chemical reactions in the body. So each and every vitamin is having a unique job in our body to do. So that's why if any vitamin is we lack of any vitamin, then we get some particular diseases. Even it is required in lesser amounts, it is essential. It is doing more critical activities in our body. Okay. So there are two. This is the classification of the vitamins. One is first mainly two major classification: water soluble and fat soluble. This fat soluble only four vitamins will come under this fat soluble, like vitamin A, D, E, K. Okay, so fat soluble vitamins can be stored in our body for some time. If we take more vitamin A, D, E, K in one day, it can be stored as fat and can be used after a week too. But water soluble, we cannot store in our body. On daily basis, we must take this water soluble. Okay, it is classified like this: B complex and C. Non B we can say. Ascorbic acid is called as vitamin C. So vitamin C and some of the B complex vitamins are classified into water soluble vitamins. These vitamins we cannot store in the body daily basis. Frequently we should take in lesser amounts to maintain a healthy body. Okay. Next thing is we will see what are the diseases we will get if any deficiency in the vitamins. Okay. So this is the vitamin and deficiency disorder. If A vitamin deficiency, if one person having, means these are all the diseases they may get. Okay. So usually it is related with eye. We used to say to our kids, right? Vitamin A is in carrot. We should take it for good eye power. So eye related disease. Okay. So it is corneal epithelium becomes red and dry. Okay, so that our eyes are having this such epithelium tissues. So eye related, more eye related things, that problems we will get if vitamin A deficiency occur. Then vitamin D. Vitamin D is mainly it is essential for bone in our body, right? We can also take it from sunlight. So if any children is having vitamin D deficiency, then they will get such these kind of disease: bowed legs, knocked knees, pigeon chest. So osteomalacia, it is in adult. Brittleness of bones, in bones. Okay. It will be very weak. The bone will become very weak and it will be broken For even small thing, they do any work and fell down means it will be broken. So that kind of bone diseases will occur when D deficiency one person have. Then vitamin E, this sterility is essential, means for that sexual glands, for all that hormones, everything, the vitamin E we need mainly. Then vitamin K, the defect in blood clot. For our blood, if any injury means our blood automatically will become clot. For that purpose, K is used. Vitamin K is used. If K deficiency is there, then our blood will not be clotted for some after some time. That bleeding will continuously happen. So that the K vitamin is very very important. Then B1, B2, all these B kind of disease vitamins are more related with skin, ulcer, everything. So beriberi is one of the disease, and that then pellagra. So dermatitis means skin disease. So B12, if any deficiency in B12 means it become Pyrenees anemia, at more anemic state, the higher state. Then C vitamin, if deficiency comes means a scurvy noise will come. Like that bleeding in the gums, loosen and falling out of teeth. The disease in our mouth. It is called as scurvy. So these are all the diseases, disorders, when the deficiency in the vitamins one person is having, then they will suffer with this. Okay. Then minerals. So minerals are basic elements. They are found in the air and earth, right? So it is needed in our body very very little amount, small amount only we need it. So what are all the minerals? Body building activities. These are all the process, and this is the function. So this is the mineral. Why we need this mineral for this process. Like this, this is tabular column you can see here. Okay. So mainly calcium, magnesium, phosphorus. These are all the minerals we mainly needed. Iodine from salt. So hormone synthesizes it is doing. So like that, every mineral is having its unique jobs in our body. So that these are also required, and we need to take in smaller amounts. So this is on complete tabular column. You can view here. So how minerals required in the body, and if any deficiency in mineral, what symptoms will be um, appeared in our body. Like that, the symptoms of deficiency and major function of this particular mineral, and major dietary resources of these minerals. All these things are listed here. You can study on your own. This is very simple only. Okay. Then fiber. The fiber is actually a substance called cellulose. Okay. How we are calling that carbohydrate and all. So the fibers are very, very essential in our body. It contains cellulose. It is found in the cell walls of plants. Fruits, vegetables, and whole grain cereals are good sources of dietary fiber. Okay. So these cell walls of plants also very important. So these are all the cellulose component that is there in the walls of the plants. So it is mainly used for us for digesting the food properly. When we take a rich fibrous food in our diet, then our digestion will be very easy. Okay, smooth working and of our digestive system. It will help our digestive system, so that the constipation problem and all will not occur. Okay. who eats the people who eat too little fiber often suffer from constipation and may run a higher risk of bowel cancer. So this is also very important. This is not doing a major work in our body, that fibers, but only the job it is doing is it helps the helps for the good digestion. Okay, so that the constipation problem will not be occur. Then water. So water is mainly composed of body is mainly composed of water, right? How much? Approximately 60 percentage of an adult weight and approximately 80% of child's weight. It's made up of water. If you see in this picture, it is clearly mentioned. So this much percentage is made up of water. Our body is made up of water. So that drinking water frequently is very, very essential. Otherwise, the dehydration problem will occur. So it is seriously damage our performance. Okay. So drinking plenty of water is will help us to avoid these kind of problems, health issues like headaches, bladder, kidney, bowel problems, even cancer. So water also we need to take properly. Whenever we feel thirsty, we need to take. Otherwise, also even 1 hour once or 2 hours once, we need to at least have a little amount of water. Then our body will not be dehydrated easily. Also, it gives energy. Okay. So, so in summary, we can say like this: our body is mainly composed of water. We know how it is maintaining such water level. You know, always we are eating or drinking something like right beverages, foods. From beverages, foods, and metabolism, we are averagely intaking in we take intake this much amount, like 2500 ml, 2.5 liters we are taking as intake, and output also it is going this much, the same amount, through feces, sweat, through skin, sweating, and urine. So, so that the water level is always maintained in our body. Intaking is happening, and also output every day it is happening. So the same water is essential. Then we see little about the BMR. BMR means basal metabolic rate. It is the amount of energy we require just to alive or awake or warm. Okay. So body uses energy all the time. Okay. Even during the sleep, our heart and lungs are working, right? Breathing and heart beating, everything is happening with involuntary systems. We knowingly or unknowingly, without our control, it is always happening through the nervous system, which comes under the autonomous nervous system. Um, that involuntary functions are always happening as per the signals, that impulses from the brain. Okay, so to move around, digest food and exercise, we need even more energy, right? This is called our working energy. Our working energy depends on how active we are. Okay, so it is calculated with this basal metabolic rate plus working energy. This is called the energy needed. So the energy is, we can say, in kilocalories. Okay, this is the formula for BMR. And finally, we can say calorie and BMI, basal, that body mass index. So we can we will use this measurement BMI for measuring one person's weight, whether is obesity, he is no obesity, or in high risk of obesity, we can say by measuring the BMI. Okay, so calorie is our body, the amount of heat, that energy what our body is needed. So that is measured as calorie. So we get these calories from our nutrients, like no, from protein, fats, carbohydrates. These calories. So exercise, when we do exercise, what will happen? That calories will be burning through the heat which produced during the moments that work, what we do. So that and rest from carbohydrates, everything. So whatever we eat, carbohydrate, protein, fats, everything will be stored as energy form, and it is measured as calories. So that calories will can be spent during our activities. Okay, so burned, it is burned. Then body mass index is a measurement to say if one person is having obesity or already obesity or not. So from this BMI range, we can say, for example, for adults, it should be 19 to 25. Okay, so it is calculated as weight in kg divided by square of higher height in meters. This is the formula. So if it is 19 to 25, then normal for adult. Okay, so underweight means 18.5 it will be. So if it is 18.5 to 24.9, then normal weight. If it is more than 25, then we can say that person is overweight. So this is obesity, how we can calculate with the body mass index. Okay, so cause due to the storage of excess of this obesity, how one person is gaining due to the storage of excess of body fat. Okay, it may induce hypertension. These are all the diseases when one person is obese. He is in the high risk of hypertension, any heart disease, and diabetes. Okay, so diet is very very important, and we should be very conscious. Otherwise, so we will become obese. Then these we will be in high risk of getting these kind of diseases. Okay. So the degree of obesity is assessed by body mass index, right? Then metabolism. So this is you can just know about what is metabolism. So metabolism is nothing but some of all the chemical reactions that occur in our body. All living organism, this metabolism is happening, like including digestion and transport of substances into the and between different cells. For everything, this metabolism is happening in our body, and two kinds of things are happening, like anabolism and catabolism. Okay, for anabolism, we can say that energy how it is formed by carbohydrate and mitochondria is doing the process anabolism. By combining the nutrients and oxygen, it is creating the energy and storing the energy in ATP form, right? So this is called anabolism. So that chemical process, two molecules are combining together and creating some new energy. And when our body needs more energy, okay, that time, for example, when we get tensed, when we some dog is barking and we are getting fear and running away from that time, whenever the sympathetic nervous system is working, that simply we can say fight or flight. We need to the such in such situations, we are forced to fight that situation, or we have to run away from the place. So that kind of situation, our body will get stress. That time many changes will be happening in our body, hormonal, and that electric signals will happen, that blood pressure will rise, heartbeat very fast, so we take more breath. So all the changes will happen. That time the excess energy, our body needs excess more energy to run. So for that, what it will do means it will use that stored glycogen, what we see previously now discussed. The carbohydrates are stored as glycogen in livers and muscles. So that glycogen will be break down into glucose. It is the process called glycolysis. Glycolysis. That is, this is called as catabolism. So when it breaks down something and it creates energy, then it is called as catabolism. So those both processes are called as metabolism. So it is called as carbohydrate metabolism and can be separated different things for protein and lipids. So whatever the processes, chemical processes are involved with protein, it is called as protein metabolism, anabolism and catabolism. The same way for lipids also. If it is happening for lipids means and fats, that fat synthesis, lipid synthesis in our cells are happening. The same way catabolism and metabolism are happening in the lipids also. So these are all the metabolism. Each and every second our body, it is our body cells are doing these processes. Okay. So these are all the things which we discussed about nutrition and diet. Next one is I just gave a slide for yogic diet. So yoga also yogic ancient text also gives more information on this. So it is very very essential to understand the diet, right? So mainly we need to take Sadhvik diet. According to any yogic text, they will prefer only Sadhvik diet. Why? Because to maintain a Sadhvik guna. Because in Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly telling about three gunas and three kinds of foods. And if we have each guna, how we behave, everything it is there. So when we select the sattvic food, then only we can maintain a good state, yogic state. Okay, that is only the food beneficial for us as a pure food. So that is we need to understand. Okay. So here just I gave again the same thing. Your Sadvik, Rajasic, Tamasic foods. Okay. So based on the food and its affects us internally and externally. So Sattva diet is conducive to higher thought and deep understanding as well as the body to be free from the disease. So best diet is Sadvik diet, which is mentioned in our ancient text. Okay. And according to Hatha Yoga Pratipika, I said last week, it is actually I have a different slides. I just tell you. See, Hatha Yoga is an ancient text on Hatha Yoga Pratipika. It is written by Swami Svatmarama. So in that text, there are few things mentioned about food. Okay, how we yogis should take food. It is called as Mitahara. Mitahara means a moderate diet, which satisfies 3/4 of the one's hunger, one's stomach, and it should be well cooked food, and it should contain ghee and sweet. Okay, and 1/4 of the part should be kept empty. And how we should eat by offering it to Lord Shiva. These are all the rules that was mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pratipika, and these are all the beneficiary and non-beneficial food for a yogi. That Midahara, what they mentioned, Patyas, Patya and Apatya. There are two slogas in that Hatha Yoga Pratipika I have mentioned here. And all the sloga words are telling, each and every word is telling on food. Like, the Patya food, this is the sloga. Goduma, Sali, it will start like this. I separated each and every word here. Okay, Goduma. Goduma means this is good for us. Goduma. Sali means one kind type of rice. Yava means barley rice. Sastika means one kind of rice. Sobana annam grains. Shira means milk. Aji means ghee. Kanda means sugar. So this way, each Sanskrit word has a different meaning, and it refers to particular food. Okay, so these are all the food essential for a yogi, and this is the Balasaka, Kalasaka, and Patola Patraka, Vastaka, and Himalochika. These are all the 5 vegetables we should take, and we should avoid all the other green vegetables except these 5 vegetables. Okay, these are all the green types, greens. So this is apatya food. Apatya means injurious to yogi. Okay, that's such katu, amla, tiksa, lavana means the first 4 things will is taste, taste of the food, like salt, bitter, sour, the pungent food we should not take, and hot food also is not good for a yogi. And green vegetables should be avoided, like this fermented, oily, sesame, mustard. If you read this, you can understand easily. So these things should avoid, a yogi should avoid. This is the information from the Hatha Yoga Pratipika book. And this is Grantha Samhita, the same only, but little difference is there. Like, the food every day yogi should take, it is must thing, like milk and ghee. There in Hatha Yoga Pratipika, they are asking us to take ghee and sweets, right? Here they are telling milk and ghee. Okay, this is the different main difference. Also, 50% of the stomach can be filled and 50% should be empty. Okay, this is one that quarter with water. So this is the main difference for Hatha Yoga Pratipika and the Grantha Samhita. Okay, I will add these slides and I will share with you all. Okay, thank you all. Hope you got few things today. Understand? Any questions?
Thank you very much, Samata ma'am. The final time. Tomorrow morning, should all the people to attend the morning session. Thank you.